A community call to action. Stand up for Rutherford County taxpayers. Something happened in Rutherford County that should never happen anywhere in Tennessee. State officials issued an unlawful directive that reclassified people's homes as commercial property, and it took more than a year, a legal battle, and a judge's ruling to undo it. This wasn't a misunderstanding. It wasn't a clerical error. It was an overreach of authority that cost real people, real money, time, and peace of mind. And now that the truth is out, the question becomes, what will we, as a community, do about it? A Tennessee administrative law judge has ruled that the state's Division of Property Assessments acted outside its legal authority. The ruling confirms what Assessor Rob Mitchell said from the beginning. The state's order was unlawful, but the ruling alone doesn't repair the damage. Taxpayers were forced into appeals they never should have needed. Residents like Charlie Butler spent a year fighting a mistake they didn't cause, and local officials who raised concerns were publicly attacked. This is bigger than a tax classification. It's about the limits of state power and the rights of local citizens. To protect every taxpayer in Rutherford County and across Tennessee, residents must insist on action. Here are the 4 essential steps. First, legislative review. Lawmakers must investigate how an unlawful directive was issued and why warnings were ignored. Second, accountability for decision-makers. The public deserves to know who authorized the action and who failed to stop it. Third, reimbursement for affected taxpayers. No resident should pay fees or costs to fix a mistake made by the state. Fourth, stronger safeguards. Tennessee must put protections in place to ensure no agency can overstep its authority this way again. These are not partisan demands. They are basic expectations of fair government. Your voice is the turning point government agencies act when communities insist on answers. This is the moment for Rutherford County residents to speak with clarity and conviction. Here's how you can help drive change. Share this story with neighbors, civic groups, and local organizations. Attend county commission and legislative meetings. Ask your state representatives what they are doing to address the ruling. Support residents who were affected and ensure their experiences are heard. And keep the pressure on until reforms are enacted. Silence is permission. Action is accountability. A final word. This ruling didn't happen by accident. It happened because one resident appealed, one office refused to stay silent, and one judge upheld the law. Now it's the community's turn. Division of Property Assessments, DPA, acted outside its legal authority when it forced Rutherford County to retroactively reclassify residential properties as commercial. The ruling confirms that Assessor Rob Mitchell was correct when he objected to the state's directive more than a year ago. The case, Charlie Butler v. Rutherford County Assessor's Office, resulted in all 12 affected properties being restored to their proper residential classification for tax years 2023 and 2024. Why this matters. The reclassifications were not initiated by Mitchell. They were mandated by state officials, despite written legal objections from his office and outside counsel. Mitchell issued the notices under formal protest, warning the state that the action was not supported by Tennessee law. For raising those concerns, Mitchell faced public, personal, and professional attacks from individuals seeking to justify the state's actions. The judge's ruling confirms those attacks were unfounded and that Mitchell's legal position was correct. This decision has significant implications for taxpayer rights, state oversight, and the limits of administrative authority. The human impact. The petitioner, Charlie Butler, a local resident, was forced to spend more than a year appealing an incorrect tax classification he did not cause and could not prevent. He ultimately prevailed, but only after paying fees, filing formal appeals, and representing himself in a legal hearing. Other Rutherford County taxpayers were placed in similar positions due to the state's actions. What happens next? Assessor Mitchell is calling for a legislative review of how and why the state issued unlawful directives, identification of responsible officials, reimbursement for taxpayers who paid fees or costs to correct the state's mistake, and stronger safeguards to prevent future misuse of administrative authority. Statement from Assessor Rob Mitchell. From the beginning, I said these reclassifications were not legal and that my office was being forced to act against our own attorney's advice. I was attacked for saying so. Today, a judge proved I was right. This ruling is not about me. It is about the taxpayers of Rutherford County who were wrongly burdened by state officials who overstepped their authority. I will continue working until every affected taxpayer is made whole. Media availability. Mitchell is available for interviews to discuss the ruling, the impact on Rutherford County taxpayers, and the broader implications for state oversight and local governance.